There was a California raisin, even before gold was discovered at Sutter's Mill. Franciscan padres planted Spanish grapes around their missions in the late 18th century, but it wasn't until after the gold rush of 1849 that the real California raisin story unfolded. Immigrant farmers from southern Europe and the Middle East discovered a near-perfect microclimate for growing grapes, right in the center of California. A microclimate that was, and is, an ideal combination of sun, soil and snowfall. To be more precise, the San Joaquin Valley with its hotter days, cooler nights and rare summer rains is ideal not only for growing grapes, but for turning those sweet clusters into the delicious, all-natural California raisin the world has grown to love. Since those early years, San Joaquin Valley farmers have used their resources wisely and developed a worldwide market for their product, selling over 300,000 tons of raisins per year in as many as 56 countries. But that wasn't just luck. It took generations of resourceful farmers from all over the world, plus 3 very different factors occurring simultaneously to create the California raisin we enjoy today. First off, Central California's superb Mediterranean climate permits farmers to dry their grapes using only the sun's energy. So California raisins are 100% natural. By not having to rely on expensive dehydration equipment, California raisin farmers can rightfully claim their grapes are all natural, and they can save vast amounts of energy in the form of fossil fuels. Such sustainability is no small matter as we face climate change. In fact, the only energy consumed in the drying of California raisins happens between the hours of sunrise and sunset. Second, strict limits on pesticide residue, combined with rigorous inspections by California raisin packers and the US Department of Agriculture, mean the world gets a cleaner, healthier and more nutritious raisin. Additionally, the state of California requires certification for everyone applying chemicals to ensure proper handling. No other country can make such claims about its raisins, so the California raisin enjoys a unique place in the sun. Lastly, unlike other raisin-producing countries, America's California raisin farmers understand the value of good marketing. From impactful advertising and public relations campaigns to end-user education, sponsorship and promotion, the California raisin is now actively marketed in 18 different countries. Investments made via in-store marketing, racing and marathon sponsorships, cooking and baking competitions, and chef training have all yielded impressive results in promoting the California raisin to the world. It has been through this sustained marketing effort that the world has come to know the value of California raisins. The now familiar California raisin logo can be seen on food products the world over and is understood as a mark of quality, value and sustainability. There's more to know about us, so please stick around and learn the whole California raisin story in the following chapters. Thank you. Why do farmers and packers put so much effort into caring for the California raisin? An answer can be found in the increasing demand for healthier food products that the natural, nutritious California raisin delivers. Whether consumed as a snack or used as an ingredient in baking and food processing, the whole, paste and concentrate forms of California raisins are trusted to be clean and free of imperfections. Maintaining that trust is a high priority for California raisin packers. The process to ensure that only the cleanest, highest quality raisins make it to market starts at harvest, when the dried grape crop is trucked in bins that hold about 1,000 pounds of raisins to the packing houses. On arrival, the conveyors start moving and the raisins are screened to remove debris. Then inspected, graded, and put into long-hold storage until orders are received from customers. Once orders are received, raisins are taken from storage and processing begins. Mechanical cappers remove the small woody cap stems that attach the grape berries to the cluster. The cleaning continues as large vacuums and inline magnets remove even more debris. It doesn't stop there. Optical scanners eliminate raisins with imperfections, and each raisin then passes through laser scanners, calibrated to detect debris as small as a few millimeters. The raisins are then washed in large tanks, pressure washed and rinsed several times prior to packing or processing. All along, a team of USDA and packing house inspectors check and double-check to make sure the finished product meets all required government and customer specifications. An extra level of care comes as California raisins are subject to audits by outside inspection services, such as the British Retail Consortium, BRC, and the American Institute of Baking, AIB. Finally, the time has come when only the highest quality raisins are weighed and packed into a wide variety of cartons, pouches, boxes and bags, depending on the customer's needs, that keep them free from contamination during storage and shipment. Upon arrival at a customer's storage facility, it's important to remember that raisins need to be kept away from flour, rice and other grains that may contain pests. Altogether, nurtured under the golden California sun, cared for by devoted farmers and packers, the California raisin gives the world the very best in natural and nutritious sweetness when cared for properly. The growth of California raisins follows the seasons. During December through January, farmers prune and tie up their vines to get them ready for the next growing season. Late February to early March, vines start their annual growth cycle with bud burst and the formation of tiny bunches on the new shoots. By the end of May to early June, clusters of grapes are well formed on the vines and the grapes are starting to develop the sugars needed to achieve peak taste. Throughout the summer, the hot San Joaquin Valley sun causes the grapes to ripen and swell. Great care is taken to make sure the vines receive the moisture they need to maintain their steady growth. Then, during August and September, when the sugar content reaches an ideal Brix of 18 to 24, the grapes are harvested and dried, transforming them into sweet, plump California raisins. Today, most California raisins are made from natural seedless grapes on vines that take 3 years of growth to produce their first fruit, and with roots that grow from 3 to 5 feet deep to stay hydrated in the hot summer months. When sun-dried, these natural seedless grapes turn into rich, dark-colored raisins. When tunnel-dried from fresh, using sulfur dioxide for color retention, those same grapes result in light, plump, golden raisins. Other grapes have been developed to enhance early maturity and disease resistance. Foremost among these are the Selma Peat, Fiesta, and Dovine cultivars. The early ripening qualities of these dried-on-the-vine cultivars make them ideal for the mechanical harvesting methods that the California raisin industry is steadily adopting. Today, many California raisin grapes are allowed to dry naturally on vines that grow either on overhead trellis systems or on open gable support structures. Regardless of which method is used, cutting the canes stops moisture from entering the grapes, and that's when the drying starts. Although it takes about 2 weeks longer than conventional harvesting, dried-on-the-vine grapes have the potential to produce nearly double the number of raisins per acre compared to traditional methods. As a result of a slower drying process, these raisins have a milder flavor, less caramelization, are slightly elongated and have smaller wrinkles. This method has led to a decreased need for expensive hand labor, for intensive disking and planning to prepare the rows for drying on the ground. While California raisin farmers are turning to mechanical methods, including the increased use of continuous tray machine harvesting, hand harvesting still accounts for about half of the grapes picked. Workers cut bunches of grapes into pans and drop them onto paper trays where the grapes lay flat to prevent crushing. After 2 weeks, the grapes are rolled in their paper trays. Later, the rolls are emptied into bins for their short trip to the packing house. But no matter which method is used for drying, one thing's for certain. Farmers in the San Joaquin Valley are growing and harvesting the finest fruit under the sun, the California raisin. You could say the versatile California raisin inspires out-of-the-box thinking. That's because all natural California raisins are prized worldwide by industrial food processors, bakers, chefs, and others as a low-cost, value-added and nutritious sweetener. That popularity is well-deserved. Food manufacturers turn to California raisins in whole, paste and concentrate form for adding texture, visual appeal and flavor to baked goods, confections, snacks, cereals, sauces, condiments, entrees, and side dishes. Uses abound for today's health-conscious consumer. Raisins are a source of fiber, and their functionality makes them perfect for products targeted at dieters. And not only do raisins maintain moisture in chewy cookies, they can also replace up to 50% of the fat content needed in some cookie recipes. For barbecue or basting sauces, raisins are a stable ingredient that sweetens naturally when used like molasses or brown sugar. When extruded through a fine mesh screen, the all-natural California raisin makes a delicious coarse or smooth paste, after which is given a mild heat treatment to keep the paste soft and pliable during storage. What else can California raisins do? Plenty. There's still raisin juice concentrate, a pure extract of raisins made by leaching the raisins in water through several stages to produce raisin juice. The juice is then evaporated to turn into a self-preserving 70-degree Brix concentrate that can be used in place of sugar. California raisin juice and raisin paste add sweetness and nutrition to a wide variety of applications and can be found in nearly every section of a grocery store. California raisin juice and paste not only enhances flavor, it also acts as a natural preservative, extending shelf life and preventing mold. Whatever use you have in mind, California raisin packers and wholesalers are experts at customizing raisins for any application. Raised under a golden sun, the ever-adaptable, always delicious California raisin is a true, multi-talented source of taste and nutrition, whether eaten on the go or mixed in as a quality ingredient. There was a California raisin, even before gold was discovered at Sutter's Mill. Franciscan padres planted Spanish grapes around their missions in the late 18th century, but it wasn't until after the gold rush of 1849 that the real California raisin story unfolded. Immigrant farmers from southern Europe and the Middle East discovered a near-perfect microclimate for growing grapes, right in the center of California. A microclimate that was, and is, an ideal combination of sun, soil and snowfall. To be more precise, The San Joaquin Valley, with its hotter days, cooler nights, and rare summer rains, is ideal not only for growing grapes, but for turning those sweet clusters into the delicious, all-natural California raisin the world has grown to love. Since those early years, San Joaquin Valley farmers have used their resources wisely and developed a worldwide market for their product, selling over 300,000 tons of raisins per year in as many as 56 countries. But that wasn't just luck. It took generations of resourceful farmers from all over the world, plus 3 very different factors occurring simultaneously to create the California raisin we enjoy today. First off, Central California's superb Mediterranean climate permits farmers to dry their grapes using only the sun's energy. So California raisins are 100% natural. By not having to rely on expensive dehydration equipment, California raisin farmers can rightfully claim their grapes are all natural, and they can save vast amounts of energy in the form of fossil fuels. Such sustainability is no small matter as we face climate change. In fact, the only energy consumed in the drying of California raisins happens between the hours of sunrise and sunset. Second, strict limits on pesticide residue, combined with rigorous inspections by California raisin packers and the US Department of Agriculture, mean the world gets a cleaner, healthier, and more nutritious raisin. Additionally, the state of California requires certification for everyone applying chemicals to ensure proper handling. No other country can make such claims about its raisins, so the California raisin enjoys a unique place in the sun. Lastly, unlike other raisin-producing countries, America's California raisin farmers understand the value of good marketing. From impactful advertising and public relations campaigns to end-user education, sponsorship and promotion, the California raisin is now actively marketed in 18 different countries. Investments made via in-store marketing, racing and marathon sponsorships, cooking and baking competitions, and chef training have all yielded impressive results in promoting the California raisin to the world. It has been through this sustained marketing effort that the world has come to know the value of California raisins. The now familiar California raisin logo can be seen on food products the world over and is understood as a mark of quality, value, and sustainability. There's more to know about us, so please stick around and learn the whole California raisin story in the following chapters. Thank you. Why do farmers and packers put so much effort into caring for the California raisin? An answer can be found in the increasing demand for healthier food products that the natural, nutritious California raisin delivers. Whether consumed as a snack or used as an ingredient in baking and food processing, the whole, paste and concentrate forms of California raisins are trusted to be clean and free of imperfections. Maintaining that trust is a high priority for California raisin packers. The process to ensure that only the cleanest, highest quality raisins make it to market starts at harvest, when the dried grape crop is trucked in bins that hold about 1,000 pounds of raisins to the packing houses. On arrival, the conveyors start moving and the raisins are screened to remove debris, then inspected, graded, and put into long-hold storage until orders are received from customers. Once orders are received, raisins are taken from storage and processing begins. Mechanical cappers remove the small woody cap stems that attach the grape berries to the cluster. The cleaning continues as large vacuums and inline magnets remove even more debris. It doesn't stop there. Optical scanners eliminate raisins with imperfections, and each raisin then passes through laser scanners, calibrated to detect debris as small as a few millimeters. The raisins are then washed in large tanks, pressure washed and rinsed several times prior to packing or processing. All along, a team of USDA and packing house inspectors check and double-check to make sure the finished product meets all required government and customer specifications. An extra level of care comes as California raisins are subject to audits by outside inspection services, such as the British Retail Consortium, BRC, and the American Institute of Baking, AIB. Finally, the time has come when only the highest quality raisins are weighed and packed into a wide variety of cartons, pouches, boxes and bags, depending on the customer's needs, that keep them free from contamination during storage and shipment. Upon arrival at a customer's storage facility, it's important to remember that raisins need to be kept away from flour, rice and other grains that may contain pests. Altogether, nurtured under the golden California sun, cared for by devoted farmers and packers, the California raisin gives the world the very best in natural and nutritious sweetness when cared for properly. The growth of California raisins follows the seasons. During December through January, farmers prune and tie up their vines to get them ready for the next growing season. Late February to early March, vines start their annual growth cycle with bud burst and the formation of tiny bunches on the new shoots. By the end of May to early June, clusters of grapes are well formed on the vines and the grapes are starting to develop the sugars needed to achieve peak taste. Throughout the summer, the hot San Joaquin Valley sun causes the grapes to ripen and swell. Great care is taken to make sure the vines receive the moisture they need to maintain their steady growth. Then, during August and September, when the sugar content reaches an ideal Brix of 18 to 24, the grapes are harvested and dried, transforming them into sweet, plump California raisins. Today, most California raisins are made from natural seedless grapes on vines that take 3 years of growth to produce their first fruit, and with roots that grow from 3 to 5 feet deep to stay hydrated in the hot summer months. When sun-dried, these natural seedless grapes turn into rich, dark-colored raisins. When tunnel-dried from fresh, using sulfur dioxide for color retention, those same grapes result in light, plump, golden raisins. Other grapes have been developed to enhance early maturity and disease resistance. Foremost among these are the Selma Peat, Fiesta, and Dovine cultivars. The early ripening qualities of these dried-on-the-vine cultivars make them ideal for the mechanical harvesting methods that the California raisin industry is steadily adopting. Today, many California raisin grapes are allowed to dry naturally on vines that grow either on overhead trellis systems or on open gable support structures. Regardless of which method is used, cutting the canes stops moisture from entering the grapes, and that's when the drying starts. Although it takes about 2 weeks longer than conventional harvesting, dried on the vine grapes have the potential to produce nearly double the number of raisins per acre compared to traditional methods. As a result of a slower drying process, these raisins have a milder flavor, less caramelization, are slightly elongated, and have smaller wrinkles. This method has led to a decreased need for expensive hand labor, for intensive disking and planning to prepare the rows for drying on the ground. While California raisin farmers are turning to mechanical methods, including the increased use of continuous tray machine harvesting, hand harvesting still accounts for about half of the grapes picked. Workers cut bunches of grapes into pans and drop them onto paper trays where the grapes lay flat to prevent crushing. After 2 weeks, the grapes are rolled in their paper trays. Later, the rolls are emptied into bins for their short trip to the packing house. But no matter which method is used for drying, one thing's for certain. Farmers in the San Joaquin Valley are growing and harvesting the finest fruit under the sun, the California raisin. You could say the versatile California raisin inspires out-of-the-box thinking. That's because all natural California raisins are prized worldwide by industrial food processors, bakers, chefs, and others as a low-cost, value-added and nutritious sweetener. That popularity is well-deserved. Food manufacturers turn to California raisins in whole, paste and concentrate form for adding texture, visual appeal and flavor to baked goods. Confections, snacks, cereals, sauces, condiments, entrees, and side dishes. Uses abound for today's health-conscious consumer. Raisins are a source of fiber, and their functionality makes them perfect for products targeted at dieters. And not only do raisins maintain moisture in chewy cookies, they can also replace up to 50% of the fat content needed in some cookie recipes. For barbecue or basting sauces, raisins are a stable ingredient that sweetens naturally when used like molasses or brown sugar. When extruded through a fine mesh screen, the all-natural California raisin makes a delicious coarse or smooth paste, after which is given a mild heat treatment to keep the paste soft and pliable during storage. What else can California raisins do? Plenty. There's still raisin juice concentrate, a pure extract of raisins made by leaching the raisins in water through several stages to produce raisin juice. The juice is then evaporated to turn into a self-preserving 70-degree Brix concentrate that can be used in place of sugar. California raisin juice and raisin paste add sweetness and nutrition to a wide variety of applications and can be found in nearly every section of a grocery store. California raisin juice and paste not only enhances flavor, it also acts as a natural preservative, extending shelf life and preventing mold. Whatever use you have in mind, California raisin packers and wholesalers are experts at customizing raisins for any application. Raised under a golden sun, the ever-adaptable, always delicious California raisin is a true, multi-talented source of taste and nutrition, whether eaten on the go or mixed in as a quality ingredient.
Hello, good afternoon. Thank you very much for taking your time to join us for the Christmas with California Raisins virtual seminar. This is brought to you by California Raisins and supported by the USDA. Today we have four very, very exciting recipes and Christmas recipes by two wonderful chefs, Chef Saour de Rosario, who's based in Manila, and also Chef Federico Michieletto, who's based in KL. So I want to say thank you, a special shout out to those friends who are here today watching us live, those I recognize. So Chef Audi, hello, and also Chef Sarah, good to see you guys here. Thank you very much. During the broadcast itself, if you have any questions, please feel free to put it inside the the comments there. Ask the questions. We will bring it up later on during the FAQ, the Q&A session itself. So without much further ado, I'm going to welcome Mr. Richard Liu, representative of California Raisins in Southeast Asia. He will share a few words with us. Richard, please.
Hello, everyone. I am Richard Liu, Southeast Asia representative for California Raisins. Think you know California Raisins? Think again. California Raisins aren't just some of the most popular dried fruit. They are functional powerhouses that multitask in more ways than you can imagine. We'll help you get that imagination started. Today's presentation, we are very proud to have Chef Federico Michieletto from Malaysia and Chef Saour del Rosario from the Philippines with us today. They will be sharing exciting new recipes inspired by their passion and heritage. We trust that you will have an enjoyable evening learning some new recipes and the experience of two experts in creating the recipes for us tonight. Enjoy and thank you.
Hi, so we're going to have the first chef going to present to us is Chef Saour del Rosario. He is a wonderful chef, and you're going to see it later on during the presentation. So he's going to bring us two delicious. One is chicken Galantina, and the other one is California Raisin Bibingka. So you're going to see the chicken dance, I promise you. So, chef, please go ahead.
This is Chef Saour del Rosario from the Philippines. Well, Christmas is just around the corner. I could smell it. I could feel it. It's cold and it's getting into my spirit. It's beautiful. Well, Christmas is a good thing for me because I have good memories of my childhood. And when the Christmas approaches, it reminds me of good food. Well, because it's Christmas, I am going to share you one holiday recipe that I grew up with. And it brings me so much joy and pleasure to share this recipe to you. All right, so this is what we call holiday chicken Galantina. Well, chicken Galantina is a Christmas dish loved by many Filipinos for its seasoned meat stuffed with spices, pork, and egg. Well, the basic stuff is that we marinated the whole boneless chicken, which I did a while ago, with soy sauce and calamansi. And this is how it goes. First, make sure we have a very good chicken, and of course ahead of time I debone it and make sure it's clean and it's fresh, and that's what good is all about, what good food is all about there. Okay, as you see, it's boneless and it's nice, it's clean, and it's dancing. It's Christmas. Okay, first I have to put it in a bowl and then marinate it with soy sauce and drizzle it with a little bit of calamansi. Well, if you don't have calamansi, you could use lemon. Or if you don't have lemon, you could use a little bit of vinegar. Voila. Okay. And then leave the chicken, like you could do this overnight if you want a little more intense in flavor. Otherwise, you could set aside. All right. Again, I would put back my chicken here and leave it for a few minutes. Meanwhile, in the bowl that I'm using, of course I have to take out the seeds, keep the marinade, and then just add all the ingredients. First, I have some ground chicken. Well, this is probably a kilo of ground chicken. I have some turkey bacon. Well, I use turkey bacon, because the fat is also important, because that will give you so much moisture and flavors. Of course, I have chicken sausage, some pickles or pickle relish, some green peas, And because it's festive, we put also some cheese. Can you imagine all the sweet, sour, sweet, umami, salt, all the flavors come into this recipe? I need some onions, chopped onions, capers, green olives, and some, not too much salt. Remember, you have cheese and you have the soy sauce, so I would put a little bit of salt, some cracked pepper, and of course, the star of the Galantina is a raisin, because, you know, as you notice, I put a lot of soy sauce, I put a lot of cheese. I need a natural sweetener, which is like the raisins. As you see, the raisins are very plump and not chewy, but they're smooth, and, you know, they have natural sugar crystals as well, right? And guess what? The raisins kind of do the binding of all the farce in the chicken because of the natural sugar that helps it wet the dry ingredients. And everything from bars to cereal bars to cookies, you could use it even, especially for this chicken Galantina. Right. And then I need some cream also that give me that smooth texture later on. Voila. And I have some stale bread or white bread and some milk. It's very festive. Imagine you have all these ingredients and you could only afford to do this for Christmas, especially for Christmas Eve, when we all grew up with and we go to family reunion, we need to impress that we have a nice potluck. I would always do this recipe because it's always the star of the buffet, and it always, like, you will normally hear this oohs and ahs, and it's become tasty and become star of the night. And then I would add, sorry, I have to put a little bit of butter that will give you more moisture, all right? Then mix everything together. Yeah, you need to press it a bit, get the whole flavors together. Well, this is basically the general, the classic recipe, but in fact, you could add whatever you want. Make sure it tastes a lot better if you do it differently. I would put a little bit of cayenne pepper also. There. Woo! It's very festive, even the color. You see the yellow, you've seen the raisins that gives you that beautiful color in our stuffing. There. Now, next I have to put 2 more eggs. 1 to make it more rich and even more delicious. Love it. I could smell the capers, the cheese, the raisins, everything, the egg, and that's about it. Leave it for another 5 to 10 minutes so that everything pulls together and it becomes more dense and is suitable for stuffing. So we're back. We're going to stuff the chicken with our stuffing, or the ground chicken that we put it all together. Well, Galantina, as I told you, we learned it from our grandparents, because our grandparents learned it from the Spaniard during the, the history. We've been colonized by the Spaniard for 300 years. So much more of our food is influenced by the Spaniard, and this is one of them. Well, Galantina is not foreign to others, because in French they have galantine also, but mainly we learned this from the Spaniard, and we continued that tradition we cook this in every event, in every function that we have, especially during the special occasions like this one, Christmas Eve, right? The good thing about Galantina is that when you cook it, you could either eat it hot or you could even eat it cold. Once it's cold, you could just cut it and put it in your hot pandesal or bread, and you can eat it for breakfast or even for snack. Otherwise, for me, I would prefer to eat during the Christmas Eve when it's in the middle of the buffet, and then you could slice it. And when you slice it in the middle, you see all the colors, these wonderful ingredients, California raisins in the middle, all the capers. They're harmonious. The flavor is just amazing. I can't even imagine how it turned out, but I tried it many times. I'm still at awed, and I'm still fascinated with this beautiful recipe. So let's go to our stuffing. Now we form a ball to make it not too messy, and then shoot it on our chicken. Make sure we knot the chicken skin to avoid from spilling out the stuffing. So, how easy is that? You could even do this ahead of time, like 2 or 3 days. Make sure you put it in the freezer, and then thaw it the following day, and then you roast it. Well, like they said, the hardest part is the deboning the chicken, but you could always ask your butcher to do it for you. Otherwise, it takes a little time, but it's all worth it. Otherwise, you could even spread it and you just do the roulade. That's what Galantina is all about. And then just roll in the foil and put in the oven. Otherwise, I'm doing traditional because it looks more aesthetically beautiful in the buffet when you see the chicken roasted in front of you, right? There. It's almost done. All right. A little bit more. And don't worry, if you have leftover stuffing, you could do another chicken, or you could even just wrap it around, and then you could roast it. There. Then I have some boiled egg, so that when you cut it, you see that yellow boiled, and it's like the chicken giving birth. Right. Then, sorry, I need to take off my gloves because when your hands are clean, it's easy to tie up to avoid slipping, right? And then I need to truss the legs to secure a good cross-leg position of the chicken, right? Otherwise, you could use toothpick if you want, or you could truss it with this butcher twine. Oh, I fell my scissors. Here, I could cut it with it. Then position the chicken like it's doing that. Clean it a bit. Make sure you put your butter or parchment paper on your food pan to avoid sticking. I would put a little bit of paprika because that will give you nice color when it goes out of the oven. And I remember when I was a kid, I would do this with my mom and my dad, with my sisters, and we had so much fun to doing the chicken galantina, and that's the best part of Christmas, you know, that interaction and that good memories I could still remember. I hate the tying part because that's a difficult part. The easiest part, of course, is when you eat the galantina. Voila! The chicken is doing that. It's perfect position now. I preheated the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and I would cook this chicken for this size for about 1.5 hours. And just to make sure you have your probe if you want, but my recipe is quite tested. So 1.5 hours, I have a timer here. You don't want to burn your Galantina that you have prepared. So I will shoot in the tray in the oven. Voila. Good luck. Okay, let's start getting our chicken Galantina. Wow, that smells so good. Look at that chicken. It's perfect. It's amazing how it get evenly done. Oh, look at this. Capers and of course the California raisins. Here's our finished product, our chicken Galantina using California raisins. How about that? Mabuhay! It's me again, Chef Saour from Manila, Philippines. Well, the other time I baked some chicken Galantina, and for dessert I cannot think of anything except this wonderful Filipino dessert called Bibingka. Well, what is Bibingka? It is a food in the Philippines and is one of many varieties of rice cakes in the Philippine cuisine. It tastes usually slightly sweet with a hint of salty undertone coming from queso. That means cheese. Well, depending on the version, the rice cake's textures can range from being spongy or to being sticky. Well, it is categorized as kakanin or rice cake, or a collective term for made anything from rice. That's good. Well, for my version of Bibingka, I would put California raisins. Why? It basically complements the saltiness. You need a little bit of sugar there, and California raisins are very versatile. You know, you could use it for any kind of food in the Philippine cuisine. Like for example, I did macaroni salad, we put raisins. And for savory, we do a lot like estofado, we put menudo, or galantina, we put raisins. Of course, for dessert, it's best to use California raisins. Okay, when you're ready, let's start with our recipe, and it's called Bibingka with California raisins. Well, during Christmas Eve, when we go to church, you would see an array of Bibingka vendors in the street. Well, Bibingka is considered one of the street food desserts that we all love. And this time, I will show you how to do it, but the special thing is I'm adding California raisins. First, we add all the dry ingredients. Of course, I have some rice flour, which is basically the main ingredient. But the raisins, the California raisin would be the special ingredient, mind you. All-purpose flour, sorry. I get so excited because I used to eat this when I'm growing up as a kid. My dad would bring some pasalubong or some, like after work, he would drive to the nearby Bibingka vendor and he would wake us up to eat, just to eat the Bibingka. And of course, some baking soda, and mix it all together. Voila. Oops. And then, this is very basic baking. You just add all the wet and dry ingredients, right? And then some sugar, the eggs. I will whisk it first until you see the egg is slightly yellow in color. And then some coconut cream. This is indeed very Asian, very Pinoy. And of course, some butter. You could clarify it. It's been there for a while. It slept a bit, but nevertheless, it's okay. and add some water. Water. Yan. And then you mix it, you mix the wet ingredients to the dry ingredients. Yan. We must avoid clumping of the dry ingredients, so make sure it's properly whisked. If not, you could strain it to avoid those uncooked flour when you beat on the kakanins or rice cakes. Beautiful texture. You could use your electric mixer if you want, if you make some tons of bibingka. I'm tempted to put a little bit of cheese in the mixture to get that gooey texture later on. I hope I don't destroy my recipe, but I don't normally put cheese, but I thought it would be a good idea also. Of course, our main ingredients will be the California raisins. Well, the technique when you put the raisins, California raisins, in any butter, you need to coat them with flour so that they stay in the middle. I mean, they float in the butter. That's it. So we put that thing, but make sure you don't put the flour to avoid lumping. Don't worry, because I'm going to put more raisins on top of it, just to see, you see the raisin on top of the, you see, it's beautiful. Now you have that texture, you have that natural sweetener with the sugar. And by the way, California raisins are antioxidant and they're very rich with vitamins and nutrients. Okay, now, okay, in the Philippines, I'm sure in some part of Southeast Asia, we love banana leaves because it gives you that banana flavor that goes with your bibingka. So, I prepared some 6 cups here. Oops. Yes. Okay, last one. Oops, there you go. That's bonus. It has plenty of. All right. Now, bibingka is not bibingka without salted egg on top of it. Voila. If you hate salted egg, then skip. But that will give you that salty flavor as well. And then, of course, your California raisins. G4. The more, the better. All right. And now we top it with a lot of queso de bola. Or what is queso de bola? You could use Edam cheese, for example, or what have you. It could be dairy. You could use gorgonzola, for example. No, I'm joking. It doesn't go with gorgonzola. Cheddar cheese, probably. I think Parmesan will do as well, but Filipinos, we love queso de bola. It tastes basically like Edam. Voila. There. In a pan, we lay all the bibingka cups filled with bibingka, what I mean, right? And I preheated an oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit again This will be done in 20 minutes. Right? Whoa. Okay, so while we're waiting for our Bibingka California raisin dessert, maybe you could just listen to Mariah Carey's Christmas song, or if not, you could dance TikTok. But I'll see you in the next 20 minutes. Okay. It's been 20 minutes and I've been doing TikTok, and yes, finally our Bibingka is ready, and I'll show you how it looked. Okay.
Hello everyone. Sorry about that. I think there were some issues with the technical side itself. We're gonna get it right so you can see after 20 minutes, right? Besides seeing the chef dancing, we can also see Chef Saour's bibingka as well, how good it looks. So I've seen the video, I've seen it done. In fact, Ken and Eddie, right, they actually ate the bibingka as well. So actually not bibingka, sorry, they ate a Chef Federico. But I'm very jealous. I want to eat the bibingka as well. So I also want to address some questions that were brought up during the in the chat itself. So I know the recipe is a bit small, cannot see properly. So don't worry. What I'm going to do is that we actually have prepared recipe cards in a very nice book format. So that one is available to you. We'll send it to you after the whole event is over. So don't worry about it. That one easy for you to read, can see as well. So not to worry. So once that one's ready, right, we'll send it to you. And also at this time to say hi as well to Miss Indra. Thanks for coming in. Maybe later you can comment and tell Eddie and Ken, right, or tell us whether or not is all the dishes we have healthy enough as well for Christmas. So I think they're trying to use less sugar and use more raisins as well to give you the natural sweetness that the California raisin is so well known for. And Sam, yes, you're right. There was something with not with your camera or with our camera. So once that's done, right, we'll put it in again. Not to worry about that. Yeah. So some of the things that was brought up, right? Later on, we're going to have um, two recipes by Chef Federico, and I want you to take a look and see. There are some similarities, and if you can, right, think about it as well. We'll talk about it a little bit more during the Q&A session itself. And I thought it was very interesting that Chef Sao's recipe also calls for this salted egg yolk as well. So I'm pretty curious about it, and I'll ask him more questions about that when he comes on the live Q&A session. Yep. So I see you have some questions there. Yep. We are going to bring it up again later on to address them.
You could use Edam cheese, for example, or what have you. You could be daring. You could use gorgonzola, for example. No, I'm joking. It doesn't go with gorgonzola. Cheddar cheese, probably. I think Parmesan will do as well, but Filipinos, we love queso de bola. It tastes basically like Edam. Voila. There. In a pan, we lay all the bibingka cups filled with bibingka, what I mean, right? and I preheated an oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit again. This will be done in 20 minutes. Right? Whoa. Okay, so while we're waiting for our Bibingka California raisin dessert, maybe you could just listen to Mariah Carey's Christmas song, or if not, you could dance TikTok. But I'll see you in the next 20 minutes. Okay, it's been 20 minutes and I've been doing TikTok, and yes, finally our Bibingka is ready, and I'll show you how it looked. Okay, I'm happy. Wow, look at that rice cake, or we call it bibingka. Yan. So normally we take it out from the mold. You just pull out the banana leaf and oops. Nice. I like these. You see, even the smell brings back good memories. You know, that's a good thing about food. It tells a story. Yeah. I remember family reunions. When my folks are still alive, they would do this for us. Oops. I think that will be more than enough in my... Okay, this one just stick on the... Let me see if I could. All right. Done. So I just finished my Bibingka with California raisin. Give me a round of applause. There. So before getting to dessert, of course, we have your chicken Galantina with California raisin and your Bibingka with California raisin. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Well done, chef. So our technician actually checked through the whole system, right? And we realized what happened. The whole thing was caused by the chef's dancing. The machine, actually, the system cannot take the dance. It was just too hot. Okay, too hot, chef. Okay, thank you very much, Chef Saour. Thank you very much for the wonderful demonstration of the California raisin bibingka and also the chicken galantina. Really attractive and really interesting as well. So now we're going to have Chef Federico. Chef Federico is not is well known to everybody in KL as well. So he's actually very, very innovative and very clever in the way he does. So we're going to welcome him to come in to do this.
Chef Federico from Venice, Italy. This is Kuala Lumpur. We're here today to cook with California raisin. We are making a traditional Venetian cake, Christmas cake, traditional cake. It's made with raisin, bread, eggs, sugar, some milk, and of course, fennel. It's a very unique traditional cake made during the festivity from my mother, my grandmothers, my fathers, and they teach me so much, and I'm so much attached to that. So let's go. I will show you how to do it. Let's go. For Pinza with California raisin, of course, the most important thing are the California raisin. In Italy, we soak overnight with heavy liquor. And when I was kids, I used to eat a lot and get drunk very fast. My father used to whack me, but that doesn't matter. So we soak the raisin with some lemon and some of the good liquor. But of course, if you want, you just put some water. You are placing in a bowl like this. First, You remove the lemon zest. You add in the dry figs. They are being pre-soaked with some water before the night time. So you just mix a little bit together. You added the fennel seeds. Some people use the fennel seed, they soak it with the raisin, but I like crispy, so I just put it a last minute like that. You put it inside here, and then you add this bread. Here we have sourdough. You just put inside. You let it soak it for a while, take all this juice from the raisin, and you mix well, you leave it there for a while, and so the first step is done. All right, so by the time this thing is soaking a bit, you leave it outside, and so we're gonna cook the custard. So we are preparing the custard with eggs, sugar, and milk, and a little bit of butter. When the custard will be finished, we will add in the raisin and the bread. Yeah. So first you're gonna do is to crack your eggs. We're using the whole eggs, so no problem at all. This is a very traditional recipe, so it's very easy to make. And he looks like English pudding somehow. I guess there is some resemblance last time on preparing Christmas cakes. So you crack the eggs inside. You have your eggs. You put your sugar, like that. You take a whisk and you start slowly to mix it together, yeah? You're on your fire, slow fire, a little bit. Simple, easy. So you mix the eggs with the sugar for a while. Okay, you can add also the warm milk inside. It can be cold. As I say, it's a very simple recipe. You add the milk, you whisk again. So you have this kind of English custard, they call it, kind of thing. Little bit. You up the fire a bit to cook it up. I like to add some butter to make it more rich, the whole sauce. So you have to mix on the slow fire the custard continuously without to stick together. So it's very important to do this work while the eggs cook, so for the salmonella as well. So it's safe to eat. So slowly you will start to see the cream, they start to boil it. You see? You remove it for a while. Don't let it stick together. When you boil it like this, it's almost ready. Actually, it's ready. We will add in this bread and the raisin all together inside like this. And you will have this dough that start to mix together to become the dough. We will add in some of the polenta flour, my personal choice, that I love it. And you will have to wait for a while to the custard and the bread to combine together and soak together. Here will look a little bit watery on the things, but when you cook it, it will become a cake. So you have to wait about 5-6 minutes, and you have to stir slowly to amalgamate the whole thing together. After mix for 4-5 minutes, you will have the dough for the pinza ready. You can smell the fennel, the raisin, the custard, so beautiful and ready to be baked. So it will look like this. So it's a thick dough. So we're gonna bring two things to bake. One is a pan. I like to do in the pan. I feel more traditional one. And we will do in a small container for Christmas season. So for the pan, you will have to add some of the butter on the button like this, simple one. If you don't have butter, you can use oil or anything that's just to don't make stick. Of course, if you don't have stick pans, you use some baking paper. This one doesn't need anything at the moment, so you fill up as you like it first. The bread for this recipe, you can use any bread, but make sure we use California raisin, as they are one of the sweetest raisin in the world, and one of the best. So you fill up basically like this, and you take this part and you do the same. My mother and my father used to cook in a very big trays and keep it for few weeks for the kids. So we have a very big family. We have about 8 kids, so they used to cook quite often this. For a big tray was just enough for a day. So you just put everything inside. Make sure you clean everything the proper way. All right. So you just put this thing down. This is the Pinza. It will be baked in the oven at 180 degrees for 35-40 minutes. It depends, of course, how big is it, how small is it. It will come out very moisted. So let's put it inside. All right, we choose the button on the oven, just like that. This one we place like this. As you can see, it's about, we'll put 35 minutes, about 182 degrees. Okay, as the pizza we put in a thinner container and in a small container, it cooks fast. So we need about 20 over minutes at 150, 180 degrees, as I said. So we're gonna open and see now they are finished, the products. So you'll have the first one, this pizza in the box, and the pan. All right, here the pan. Traditionally, the pizza are made in a square tray, and when you press it, you will see it's quite firm. Normally, they prefer to eat the next day or the next 2-3 days. But in my home, we normally eat hot because we are very hungry and at the time, and we just love it, the smell of the raisin, the fennels and everything. So normally in my house, straight away when it come out, my father just put it in the middle. We take some icing sugar. We just go like that to symbolize the snow. We have quite a lot of snow in Venice sometimes. And here we go. And then we will eat like this and cut it. We will show you later another preparation when this thing is cold, how to decorate more for Christmas season. So let's decorate these smaller versions, a little bit modern. So we have our Santa Claus, our snowman, jingle bell, that will go up here. So we have, of course, if you're home and you're lazy, you can just use some snow, icing sugar. Of course, here I'm in the kitchen, I use some icing, royal icing. This is made of sugar and white eggs. We'll give you the recipe next time that you see me. So the good thing is like we cover up this whole cake very simple with some icy sugar like this, some good one, a very simple one. So it represents the snow, right? And we fix, all right, just choose between Santa Claus with the tree or Santa Claus without tree. So we fix it one here. We have the snowman here, and okay, stay there. And maybe another Santa Claus here. Yeah, all right. And so that is this pizza ready for Christmas and the festivity. And let's snow a bit, and ready to eat the pizza. Finish our first recipe, we are the second recipe. So the tradition is sardine in Saour, sardine in Saour style, but today we're gonna cook saba fish. It's a recipe made of pan-fried, deep-fried fish with onion and California raisin together with some vinegar. It's very close to my heart because during Christmas we used to eat so much of this in my family in Venice. So let's go and I will show you how to do this recipe. Let's go to the next step. So first step, we're gonna slice the onion, saute and fry with olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. We're gonna put inside vinegar, and of course, we're gonna add our California raisin, a little bit of pine nuts, and some salt and pepper, and of course, some bay leaf to flavor up the thing. So first thing first, we're gonna cut the onion, very thin, julienne style. So the ratios goes like 1:1. So it's like so much fish, so much onions. In Venice, we love so much about this onion stew. There are some people that additional inside some carrots, some celery, and other things. But the best is the onion because they're very sweet. Not necessarily you need to cut julienne very thin. It can be cut a little bit thicker. You just get the pan on. Of course, my mother will use a cast iron pan for fry all this kind of thing. They have their own favorite pan. You put the olive oil inside, the extra virgin. You start to add the onions. The pan, of course, is already hot before. You get all the onion done. All right, so we stew the onion. The right thing is to stew the onions on the fire. A very strong fire will be good. Of course, later we will put it down a bit. Some salt, some pepper, the bay leaves. So we need to stir, but we never have to make it brown. So you just have to do it fast, or practice will make you perfect. So a little bit like this. When it's going soft, we'll start to add in the vinegar. In Italy, of course, in Venice, we additional also a lot of wines or water. So this thing have to stew together for about 5 minutes. This onion has to be very soft. We add in raisin, California raisin. I love to put a lot because the recipe will become very sweet. We braise together stew, like that. Right, so let it cook for a while. And at the meantime, we will deep fry the fish and prepare for combine together. Okay, so we came to fry the seafood, the saba fish. So we need to have a very hot oil. I prefer corn oil. You don't need to take out the bones, leave the bones. Even if you have the whole seafood, the whole fish, you just leave it like this. Better to be a little bit watery like this one. You just put flour, normal flour. Any flour can do. Okay, you just get the fish rolling inside. Okay. Don't worry about the season because we'll combine together with onion and the salt later on. Anyway, this particular dish has to marinate together for at least a week before to be eaten. After you have put the flour on the fish, you just check your oil. This oil will be ready to be fried. So you go inside with the saba fish, one by one. So, as you see, the mackerel, the sardine has to be fried very crispy. They have to be very, very crispy. As I say, you don't have to worry about the bones, so fry through everything. Right? So I can show you this easy part that is already cooked. Here you go. It's gonna be like that. It's a little bit hot, but don't worry, we're chef. So it's gonna be like this. You have to take out from the oil, drain it, let it dry. As you see, the fish is perfectly crispy. We take it out. Right. Okay, so the fish is done. So now it's time to combine together the onion and the fish. So we are back to the onions. Now they are almost stew finish. Some people like it very much stew, like very soft. I personally like to bite on the onion, so I don't like to cook so much. As you see, we have a little bit of water, so they're not very dry about it. That's where the time I will put the pine nuts inside, mix it a while, and so the onion is ready. So what we have last time is like big containers where you place the onion first, like this, right? I love onion and raisin, so I like a lot. We put the onion, the raisin like that. It goes inside with the bay leaves and anything else you want to put. You place your fish like this. You place again onions and raisin. Right. And you place again the rest of the fish. And you finish up with all your onions and California raisin. Right. Okay, so normally for restaurants, we plated the sardine in Saour, the Sarde in Saour. We plate it in a plate. We normally place some polenta. For Venezia, Venice is a tradition to have the white polenta. So normally you look for your piece of fish. You just get some of the sauce, now still hot, of course. You just place a little bit here. You put the fish. Oh, the smell is so good. And then you put the onions like this. You're right. Just imagine you have the polenta below or any potato if you like. Then you decorate a little bit like this, and that will be the so-called dining experience. For my size, I'm quite big, and for my personal wish, I normally eat like this. So come and show you how. Simple and easy. I take a nice ciabatta, fantastic ciabatta. Okay, I get the ciabatta cut in two. Voila. And then I place inside all the onions. I love onions. Here you go. Then I take the seafood, right, a little bit, and I put it inside like this, you see, this, little bit, yep, like that, and then you close, hop, like this. Here you go, the ciabatta with the sardine in Saour, and this is the way I'll normally have my snack. And you can see the goodness here. We came to the end of my sections with this California raisin. So I see you later on the Q&A. Thank you very much again. Buon Natale, Merry Christmas to everyone.
Hello everyone. Thank you for coming back in again. We're going to have the Q&A session. That was really interesting. That was really delicious, right? Every time Chef Federico says, oh, it smells so good, it just make my mouth water, right? So we're going to welcome now at this point in time both Chef Federico and also Chef Saour to join us for the Q&A session. Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, chefs.
Hi. Ciao.
I hope you've seen the comments, I mean, for Chef Saour, you got fans. They're saying the dancing is great, Yeah. I was just saying, earlier on that all the technical issues that we had was because of you. When you dance, technical issue happens. When I mention that you dance, technical issues happen too. Chef,
Sam, he sang very well too, huh?
yeah. So thank you very much for doing a demonstration for us. I think those were very good. And I just wanted to just kick off, with there were some questions. I just want to kick off with a quick one. Was then so maybe just for Chef Federico to start off with, what
Okay.
and also for Chef Sao, what are some of the fondest memories of Christmas that you had when you were growing up in Italy?
Okay, so I start first. Of course, Christmas in where I grew, it was a little bit of countryside. Yeah. So we are 8 siblings, so we are 4 sisters and 4 brothers.
Wow.
So the thing they remember is just like very big parties with a lot of presents. We all waiting for wake up on the Christmas day and have the presents. And of course, after the present and after the church, we normally get through the lunch, coming dinner, coming supper, coming until 26. I mean, it was like no stop for 2 days, yeah. And then you go through the whole until 6th of January, where there is the Befana, this kind of season that happened in Italy. Yeah. That was my memories. Yeah.
Wow. And non-stop eating, right? I suppose.
Yes.
I think it's probably the same for you too, right, Chef Sao? How about you? How's your memories like, of the fondest memories when growing up at Christmas?
Well, I guess we are very similar. We are also eight in the family. We come from a big family. Christmas in the Philippines is more than Santa Claus. Of course, Federico and me, I speak for my family because we're very Catholic as well. So for us, Christmas is also the birth of Christ. So that symbolizes Christmas. It's centered on the celebration of the birth of Christ. So prior to Christmas, this is what we call. There's such a thing as we call Galo de Misa or Simbang Gabi, that we go to church the night before the Christmas. So
Christmas
the
Eve,
family,
yes.
Christmas, go to the church, then we say a mass, and then of course the best part is when we get home, the buffet table is waiting for food. Food is Christmas is about love, unity among brothers and sisters, because we have our own lives. They're all married with children, so we come to see each other on that specific day of the year, which is the Christmas. We exchange gifts. We have so much laughter. We have so much love, and there's so much jokes and plays and gift givings, etc. And of course the center of the Christmas Eve is the food, because food binds us all together. Food is a strong language. Food makes us all happy and gives us very like now, if I see food like this one, it brings back a family. It brings back me to childhood,
Memories,
because,
yeah.
yes, and my mom would whip up anything. Like before the Christmas Eve, she would spend time in the kitchen. Same thing like that, because my mom is a chef. And sorry, they're gone now. Up to now, each one of our siblings, we will do the same thing. We will prepare Bibingka or chicken Galantina, because it brings us good memories of our parents.
Yeah, especially the part where you mentioned, right, when you're doing the Galantina, right, you were doing the rubbing it itself, and tying it. I think when you mentioned things that, that's what your family do together, right, I really felt that was something that every time you do it, right, it brings you back the memory of that time again, isn't it?
Exactly.
And
Exactly. You said it
yeah,
right.
of course, when it comes to Chef Federico, right, each time he does the Pinza, right, and he takes the raisins that is
When I get
roasted in
drunk,
liqueur, right, and he start popping it, right. I think it brings you back some painful memory as well, right? When you get whacked by your
Uh,
dad.
Well, when I was kids, when I was 6 years old, the first time he whacked me. After that, in Italy, when you are 7, 8, 9, 10, you're allowed to drink. Yeah, last time. Now I'm not very sure, but yeah. So, when we are sick in Italy during the winter, they
Right.
fill up a big glass of milk, they put inside grappa, and then you drink when you are sick, and then you go to sleep, you sweat it off, and so kind of used to drink hard liquor during winter, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I think so. Coming back to about the, eating and drinking, right? The last part where you did the fish sao together with the ciabatta, the way you did it,
Yeah,
right?
so yeah.
I thought that was so hearty, such a nice way to eat it. When you put your mouth into it, right? It's so
Yes.
satisfying. Yeah. Oh,
You know that has a big story in Venice, the Saour, yeah.
yeah.
It is in Venice you have I mean there is no car if you have been there. There is you just walk or you just ride your boat, right? There is no
Right.
cycling and everything. So
Right.
they have a lot of place where you do small like aperitif tapas even 10 o'clock 8 o'clock in the morning you
Right.
see all these people having wine and sardine and bread and a lot of seafood, so it's very common to see this kind of thing, and Saur is something to keep the seafood with the resin together for a few months is to preserve, yeah, so yeah, it's part of that tradition, yeah, in the bakery, yeah, they call it.
That's a good one because now the question was, I think you touched a little bit about it. Gianpaolo was asking about the history of Sao. You just touched a little bit on it. And yeah,
Yeah, sour is basically they used to preserve this fish, the sardine, especially because this Venice is on the sea. We are on the sea, so there is a lot of this blue fish, and they used to do stew onion with the raisin and some peanuts and some wine or vinegar, and they used to keep it in this jar or this container of wood and keep it outside even during before they find the refrigerators for a few months, and then you go there and you pick up and you eat, so it's like a pickle seafood
preserve,
kind
come
of
kind of
thing, yes,
preserve.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful,
Wow.
beautiful, beautiful with the white wine, fantastic.
Cool. There's a question.
I'm so hungry. I'm so hungry. Just the story. It just makes me really hungry. I could
I
smell it from here,
know.
Federico.
I
Yes,
was
so
I
next
was
time we
just
meet up we can do cook together, yeah.
exactly. I was talking to Silkit, right? We're saying that we need to bring you guys back together again. Either bring Chef Federico over to Manila, or you bring Chef Sao over back to Malaysia itself, and then you guys cook together. I think it was such enjoyable to see you two of you do it together.
I love when Sal open the chicken, Sal. Your chicken is so yummy. When you cut it in half, then you pop up. It's like, oh my God, give me some piece. Yeah. Give me some. Yeah, it's like the other things. Like, wow, it's like, wow, the saliva coming up. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
We know earlier on before the session started, right, Chef Sao, I was talking to Chef Federico, right? We were just talking, saying that a bit of the technique that you do for Galantina, right, and ingredient you use, and also the ingredient that Chef Federico used for the Pinza itself looks very similar as well. You mix the bread, you mix the thing, then you make it into more like when you cut it open up. One is savory and one is sweet. But when you open up, right, it does show all the the marble texture and everything as well, and it looks as if it's a bit of the culture that's actually very similar, even though it's so far away. For two
You know,
countries itself. Yeah.
in the Philippines, you could only afford to do this during Christmas time because it's very generous. The ingredients. You put some turkey bacon there. You put some chicken sausage, the capers, the California raisins, the kind of cheese that you put into it.
Right.
It really must be really special, and it becomes a center of the. It's the star of the
Buffet.
buffet.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's also signifies, Filipinos, us, we are very resilient, we have so many eruptions and so many, floodings and problems in the country. But when it comes to Christmas, it's like Thanksgiving to us. And we are resilient. We do whatever we have for Christmas. We try to give thanks to Jesus, because it's his birth also. It's a showing of respect and love
Right.
also.
Right.
And this Galantina, I've learned the technique from my mom. Like I said, when she does this thing, she would ask me to tie the leg, and I like that part. I think basically my uh, part of me is my mom, because I saw her in the kitchen, like she flicks her fingers, she waves her hands. She's like a baton, the true conductor of an orchestra where Yaya and all the house help will tell her, you should be all in sync, and she does everything from scratch. And I witnessed that love, and I really miss her a lot. And sorry, um,
It's okay, chef.
um,
It's okay. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And I mean, Christmas is all about family as well. Things that we do and things we do for our family as well. And I think all this food that you brought up is really inspiring as well. I only wish that we can all be together to eat it, to share it. Because when you smell it, you actually bring back all the memory and it floods back to us as well. And I like the way, Chef Sao, the way you do it, right? When you were doing the bibingka, right? Halfway through you say, I'm gonna put in some cheese, I'm gonna put in some cheese and mix it up. And I think that's how culinary arts advance as well. You just adapt a little bit. So how was it in the end after you put in the cheese? Did it taste better?
turns out to be a lot better than I thought.
Oh my God! See, straight
As
away now there's innovation there.
yeah,
There's not. Okay.
as chefs, we know our classics, our classic recipes, but we can't help but add this and that. Uh, Adding California cheese was a bold move because we don't normally put California raisins on our bibingka. But when I tried testing it before I submitted to you, it turned out so like 10 times better. And
Wow.
as I was doing the bibingka, I found the cheese, and it really complements well the saltiness, the sweet, natural sweetener of the California raisin. It was boom. It was like perfect match. So I think it's just to show how versatile California raisins. You can put almost anything. You could almost dip in any food, and it really works.
Thank you, thank you. I mean, end of the day itself is the innovation of the chefs as well. I mean, the other thing is it comes back even to like Chef Federico as well. I mean, the way you did it, you were sharing earlier on that traditionally you use sardine and mackerel for the fish itself, the fish Saour. So I mean, one
Yeah.
question we had was that I know you're using Sabah now. Someone asked actually, can we use any local fish for this dish?
Yeah, normally you can use a lot of local fish. Normally it's all the small fish, all the blue fish, you can use it all. Yeah. I'm just surprised. I saw the kind of flavor that coming out from the California raisin. Yeah. And then I believe also this kind of raisin is kind of tradition, I think, for the Spanish or the Italians during the Christmas to put everywhere. It's because I saw the timing, because during September, October, you have the harvest of the wine. And
Right,
then
right.
from September to November, you dry it kind of thing. Yeah. So in December is when the raisin ready. Yeah. And then there is so much uses on that. So I think it's kind of way they related back to this tradition to have the Christmas full of raisin. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much, chefs. All these things, right, it's really made me hungry as well. So I wanted to also, maybe we can wrap up a little bit. And what we can do is that, if I can get all of us, right, let's say, an early Merry Christmas to all our audience as well. Can we just say that, we say together, Merry Christmas from California Raisins. Shall we do it? One, two, three. Merry Christmas from
Buon
California Raisins. Thank you, thank you, thank you,
Buon-
chef.
okay. Buon Natale from California raisin. Buon Natale.
So all from here, of course, when you're
Thank you so much. Thank you, chef.
Okay. Bye bye.
Thank
Ciao
you for your
ciao.
time. Thank you.
Ciao ciao. Thanks. See you soon. Bye bye.
Ciao, ciao. Thank
bye.
you.
Ciao
Mabuhay.
ciao.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool.